Hi everyone, I've been informed that there is something quite interesting for us superhero fans in Jeddah. Finally, after a hiatus for more than a decade, we are going to be getting to see something that really addresses our passion, our hobby, which is the world of superheroes, whether it's DC or Marvel. Not a paid promotion, just letting you guys know so that you guys can benefit from all of it. So I'm going to be going inside and let's see what I find. I'm here at Jarir Bookstore on Sari Street, where I learned about something really special that is available at this bookstore for anyone who is a fan of coffee table books, but more importantly, who is a fan of superheroes. Now, there are two very precious books besides me that are classified as coffee table books, but they offer a lot more for us superhero fans. So, first up is this book of The Amazing Spider Man, where they start collecting books, the Spider Man books from issue number 22, which was published in the 1960s. So, as you can see, we have Steve Ditko's art, if I'm not mistaken, here, and we have been allowed by the staff of Jarir to basically show you in its full glory. So this is how it looks from the back. This is how it looks from the front. The Marvel age of comics, when it began with Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. So you're looking at this piece of history, and this is now available as a coffee table book in Jeddah at Jarir Bookstore. And mind you, this is not a paid promotion. We just happened to pass by, we discovered this, we asked them, they were kind enough to let us film. But now I need to share something with you that is gonna blow your minds away. You saw this coffee table book over here? Now there's another one. And this one has the milestone issue. This is Amazing Spider-Man #1. When the Amazing Spider-Man met the Fantastic Four for the very first time, done by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. So this is not Spider-Man's first appearance. This is actually, because the first appearance happened in Amazing Fantasy #15. This is the first time Spider-Man came across the Fantastic Four. Now let's see how does it look from the inside. Have to be really careful with this. Beautiful. Just look at the colors. The same CMYK feel that you can get just like it was back in the 60s. And let me show you how does it look like from the back. My lord. So you have the back cover featuring the Sandman and the Human Torch. This is way before Marvel Team Up ever happened. Marvel Team Up saw Spider-Man teaming up with the Human Torch initially, and they would go up against various villains, amazing stories. But this is the foundation for all of it. And this, by the way, is a coffee table book. Look at the spine of this coffee table book. It has the corner box art of Spider-Man, just like it appeared in the comics. And you can see it over here as well. The corner box art is over here also. As you can see, these are published by Taschen, world-renowned publishers for coffee table books, photo books, and they really know how to take care of comic book art. So you can't go wrong with Taschen. The story doesn't end there. For DC fans, you have the ultimate collection over here for Superman. Then you have these trade paperbacks. Okay, Superman Earth 1. You have the Man of Steel, Brian Michael Bendis run. You have Action Comics, where we can see Booster Gold, and Superman and Son is also here. Graphic novels or trade paperbacks as they are known. Okay, whether you're talking about New 52, whether you're talking about the DC Rebirth, they have it over here, and some of them are available at a good price. Once again, not a paid promotion, just letting you guys know so that you guys can benefit from all of it. Some more interesting finds. So fans of The Dark Knight, this is an amazing book where they have collected all the major highlights of our Caped Crusader. So you're looking at something that will take you from the golden age of comics, bringing you all the way to the modern age. And this is amazing. And then the illustrated history of the Black Panther. So Black Panther has been a huge part of the Marvel Universe. People think that he became popular because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which can be argued, but he was a very important character in the 60s and the 70s. So I'm really glad that this illustrated history compilation has been done, and this is actually done by Insight Comics, who collaborated with Marvel to give us a complete history of the King of Wakanda. So When we go inside of the jacket, or the inside cover, if you will, we come across this wonderful illustrated history of Batman's logos. All of the logos that ever existed in the world of comics and even in live action. So, for example, this logo over here, which was used in the 1960s, was also to an extent utilized in the 1966 Batman live action that starred Adam West and Burt Ward. But overall, you can see for yourself that these are the logos that have appeared in different decades of the Dark Knight. But now, one of the most important things that I want to show each and every one of you is the fact that this entire list of contents that you find over here is quite extensive. This is not something like for kids. This is some real collector item, and you can already see the artworks. Like, for example, I think this one was done by Carmine Infantino, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or Dick Giordano. I'm a bit confused on this one, but this is one of the best covers ever done, one of the most iconic covers done from the Bronze Age of DC Comics, when Batman went back to his dark roots. So you can see over here, and I'm really dying to see if they will be having Neil Adams. But this cover in itself, this is pure Bill Finger. This is Golden Age. This is the first appearance of Robin. This is when Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson were working on the title and giving away some of the best stories that laid the foundation in the Golden Age of comics. This is the earlier logo of Batman, which has been shown over here. So, as the title of the book says, 100 Greatest Moments from the Dark Knight's History. And you're looking at the legend of the Bat, which is from the Golden Age of comics, which shows the roots of how our Caped Crusader came into existence. Then you have the second greatest moment, which comes from the Bronze Age of comics, when Batman had returned to his dark roots. Why do I emphasize on that? Is the fact that from the 1950s and 60s, Batman became very childish, very colorful, very extravagant, if you will, and it had departed from its darker roots. So you can see that, like, the first greatest moment is from the Golden Age, but the second greatest moment comes from the Bronze Age, when the Batman became the detective, or reclaimed his title as the detective. And as we go on and on, we come across some amazing artworks, some amazing issues, some amazing panels that were done by some of the greatest storytellers, visual storytellers of the past decades. Now, this book is possibly the hottest book right now. You know why? Because of Avengers Doomsday. One of Doctor Doom's eternal rivals happens to be T'Challa, the Black Panther. And to know the illustrated history of one of Doctor Doom's rivals is this book. And at the very beginning, we come across an amazing artwork by Gabriele Dell'Otto, the Italian artist who has drawn some amazing stuff for Marvel, and you can see Black Panther over here. There is another art by Gabriele Dell'Otto where Black Panther is attacking Doctor Doom. That's one of my favorites. I hope it's inside. But I want to take you straight to the Doctor Doom connection. So you can see here, you have all of the Silver Age stuff. In case you didn't recognize the upcoming Wonder Man series, this is Eric Williams, Simon Williams' brother, who is known as the Grim Reaper. So they have this issue over here. Why? Because the Black Panther was involved in this. I want to go straight page number 147. Now, despite the fact that this book has a lot of work from Don McGregor, Keith Pollard, and Billy Graham, I wanted to bring you guys to this section, which is the Illuminati and the Secret Wars. Why? Because of the upcoming Avengers Doomsday movie. So they have an entire section dedicated to that particular era of Black Panther. And is it important? Definitely it is. Because by the end of the day, when you're looking at the Illuminati over here, even though Black Bolt is the king, he is not the rival of Doctor Doom. Dr. Doom's rival is either Black Panther, Namor the Submariner, or Iron Man. So these are the type of trade paperbacks that are available for both Marvel and DC. So I have here with me Batman Detective Comics. This one is by Brian Hill, and this one over here is by the late Peter David, The King in Black. And Jareer has made a comeback. Back in the day when I was in high school, when I was completing my studies, whenever I would come back to Jeddah, I would buy my comics from Jareer. But then something happened, the comics simply disappeared. But now they've made a huge comeback. Do they have a collection equivalent to a comic book store? Not yet. But they have some really amazing things, as you saw, the coffee table books, the illustrated histories, the trade paperbacks, and so forth. So things are just going really amazing for superhero fans. And while we don't get the individual issues like we used to, at least what we have now is we have some hope, and make sure to check it out.